I'd like to introduce the concept of tax incidence, which asks how is the burden of the tax shared between the consumers and the producers. We know that when there is a tax, the price to the consumer goes up and the price that the producer gets goes down. We know that consumer surplus shrinks and producer surplus shrinks as well. But how much does each party suffer? That is the question of tax incidence. We can think of it in terms of how the tax is shared between the consumers and the producers. At the original price of $2, the price consumers paid was the same as the price producers got. But now that there's a tax, there's a barrier of the tax. The price to the consumer has gone up from $2 to $2.40. In other words, the price to the consumers has gone up by 40 cents per bottle of soda. The price to the producer has gone down. It went down from $2 to $1.40. In other words, the price to the producer went down by 60 cents. If we add these two changes together, we get, of course, the full dollar. But we can see that this dollar is not shared equally. In this example, the consumers suffered 40% of the dollar, and the producers suffered 60% of the dollar. In other words, in this example, the tax incidence was more on the producers and less on the consumers. Why was that? Well, the more flexible you are, the more you will change your behavior. And the more you'll change your behavior, the less you will suffer the consequence of the tax. The less flexible you are, the more you will insist on doing what you did before, and as a result, you'll be paying the consequence of the tax. In this example, the consumers were more flexible. What do I mean by more flexible? The demand was more elastic than the supply curve. Why don't you go and try and graph the situation with various forms of supply and demand and prove to yourself that the less flexible you are, the more you suffer the consequences of the tax, the more the tax incidence falls on you.